Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, it's been almost 24 hours since I touched up that 999, and I went ahead and did the whole thing last night. So I want to bring this around just so you can see the results. And you saw for yourself in the original video, this was in fairly poor condition. And as you see, it is black, it is shiny, and the oil hasn't quite penetrated completely yet, but almost. Like I said, it's been almost 24 hours. And anything that doesn't soak in, you can just wipe off. But in the meantime, this has really rejuvenated this paint, as you can see. Excuse me. So there's the result. You can see there's no more pot metal showing through. All the mottling is gone. It's a deep, deep black, and still has some shine from that oil. But like I said, it hasn't been quite 24 hours yet. And the longer you set, or the longer you let it set, the more of this oil is going to penetrate that paint. And then you can just wipe off the excess. I just leave it on there for a few days, put it back up on the shelf, and just let it set. And it'll eventually all be absorbed into the paint. But as you can see, this actually looks quite good considering it has not been repainted. It was touched up with an ink marker and motor oil. And it's really, really black. Like I said, all the mottling is gone. All the paint damage is gone. This actually looks quite good. I don't think anybody would object to owning this. And it's really simple. It's really quick. I did this thing probably 10 minutes after I shot the video of the touch-up. And I just touched up all the spots. And once you get it touched up, zap it with a few drops of motor oil, spread it out with a soft paintbrush, and this is the result. So like I said, it looks like it's been repainted, and it hasn't been. It was just touched up with an ink marker and a few drops of motor oil. And it's still far from perfect, but you have to admit it is 1,000% better than it was when we started. And it's a great way to save a locomotive that arrives just in terrible condition. It's all gray and covered with what looks like scratches. And as I said, the oxide will build up underneath the paint and just lift the paint off of this pot metal. And it doesn't take long to do this, just literally just a few minutes. And then paint it with oil, let it set on the rail or put it up on a shelf. Like I said, I just let it set until the oil is completely soaked in. And it takes 24 hours, a bit longer perhaps. And like I said, I just put it up on a shelf and let it set. And over a period of time, this will all be absorbed. And anything that isn't, of course, you can just wipe off. But as you see, it makes a dramatic difference and an actual 100%, 1,000% improvement in how this looks. And like I said, from looking at it, you would never know this ever had any paint damage at all. This actually looks quite good. It's really, really simple. It's inexpensive. Best of all, it's really fast. You can do this in just a matter of minutes. And just cover all the damage with an ink marker. Let it set till the ink marker dries. A few drops of motor oil, spread it out with a soft paintbrush. And this is the result. And you would never know that this thing was just, when it arrived, it was just terrible, terrible condition. Not physically. There was nothing physically wrong with it. It's just the paint was just absolutely trashed. And that's why I always say, when you're looking at something on eBay, look past the appearance and look at the locomotive itself. If there's no damage to it, you can revamp this paint in literally just a matter of minutes. And like I said, it looks like it's been repainted, and it hasn't been. You don't have to pull the handrails off. You don't have to cover the number board. You don't have to do anything at all. Wipe it down, get it clean, of course, and then touch up the spots in the paint with an ink marker. Let it dry. Zap it with a few drops of motor oil. Spread it out with a soft paintbrush, and this is the result. So this actually looks quite good. It covered completely. You would never know that that paint was just in absolutely terrible condition when this arrived. It looks good. It runs good. 10 bucks on eBay. How can you beat that? And like I said, grand total of time involved to do this, probably 15 minutes, something like that. And all you have to do is, like I said, just get it clean, wipe it down, get all the junk and the crud off of it, and then touch it up with a ink marker and a few drops of motor oil. Spread it out with a soft paintbrush, and this is the result. I mean, you have to admit, this looks pretty good. You've doubled its value just by doing this. It's no longer a wreck. It doesn't look bad. It's not all gray and faded out. And it looks nice. It runs good. It was really, really inexpensive. And the best part about this, of course, is the fact that it only takes a few minutes to do this. There's no disassembly required. You don't have to use spray paint, no primer, nothing. Just a Marx ink marker and a few drops of motor oil. Makes a dramatic improvement in literally a matter of minutes. And if you don't want to wait for this rest of this oil to penetrate, you can just wipe it off with a soft cloth. But I just let it set. There's no point in rushing this. And the longer it sets and the more oil is absorbed into that paint, the better it will look. But as you can see, it's completely matching. There is no difference between the original paint and what you've touched up with the ink marker. Still really, really glossy. And like I said, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. And you've gone from a gray, mottled, ugly finish to this deep, deep, rich, black, shiny finish that looks like you've repainted the locomotive. And you haven't. That's the neat thing about this. So I just want to do a quick follow-up on this. As you see, this works. It works really, really well. It's really cheap. Best of all, it's really fast. You can get one of these things from eBay, get it running, and then just in a matter of a few minutes, you can touch up this paint, put it on the rail, and run it. And it looks nice. And you would never know that this was a wreck from eBay. 10 bucks. And as usual, I was the only bidder on this because it looked bad. And that's what I always stress. Look at the locomotive. Don't look at the paint. You can always touch up the paint. As long as there is no damage, and there is no damage at all on this locomotive, as you can see. There's no dings. There's no major play wear in it. There's no dents. It's actually in very good condition. It just looked bad. And unfortunately, everyone judges these things on how they look, when they should be judged on how they run. So once you get this thing running, if you want it to look nice, Marx ink marker and a few drops of motor oil, and you're set. This looks good. It runs good. It was really inexpensive. And I did this in, like I said, 10, 15 minutes. So as you can see, it was definitely worth the 10 bucks and the time it took to touch it up. It's really simple, costs almost nothing, and the best part is you can do it in just literally a matter of minutes. Like I said, I don't think anybody would object to owning this 999. It looks actually quite good. It's really impressive what you can do with an ink marker and a few drops of motor oil. So anyway, I just want to do a quick follow-up. It's been almost 24 hours since I did that. So I just want to do a follow-up so you can see the actual result of doing this entire locomotive. It works. It works really, really well. It's really cheap. Best of all, it's really fast. So just a quick follow-up. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. As always, thank you for watching.